Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. I just want to be sure we have our settings all good here. Looks like everything is working just fine. All right, so we'll start with our high time frame analysis. Ultimately, this live stream, I'm going to try to keep it like very concise, very straightforward, because I want to get some things across to you guys with my viewpoints on the market. I honest to God, like this just the conditions all seem too good to be true, and to like add on top of it, everyone's like relatively bearish. So I don't know if I'm just missing something, but I honest to God, I can't see like the bear case in this scenario. So I just like I'm going to keep this very concise and very straightforward. We're going to talk about my long setups and why I think that BTC is going to be at new all-time highs in the coming weeks. So we're going to start with our higher time frame chart here, as we always do. I've broken this up into 3 bands like I've talked about here for quite some time. We can see that this one here is holding as support on a weekly time frame. Okay, we got a weekly close above the level, about 64,800, and we can see that price is now climbing up from that area of support. Ultimately, kind of this 76 zone is my first area of interest as BTC does break out towards all-time highs. This channel is really, 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 really key for me. So I do want to see how price will react to this area when it's reached. Okay. So let's go down to our lower time frame charts and let's talk about my setup here and why I do think that BTC is going to be going towards all-time highs in the coming weeks ahead. And then we'll do some chart updating and take a look at what that might look like. So first and foremost, we had this dump over here over the weekend last Saturday. Okay, and one thing that I had brought up in my let's be sure I got this up here. One thing I had brought up in my last week's live stream was that dump, because it was on a Saturday, right, would not be on the CME chart, right? So you could see what would have been right here, it wasn't here. Okay, so when CME opened up here, we did not have that price action shown. So one thing I said is we're going to have to revisit those lows so CME can have that price put in on its chart, right? And so we can see it did exactly that. We put in this low here. There was no, it didn't show on CME, so we came down and we put in these 2 lows here. All right, then I pointed out that we have this really nice bullish shark harmonic. And at the time, I saw that we put it in here, or I had thought that we had put it in here. And then we got this significant dump here to where I posted in the Discord and on Twitter. And I said, it's not uncommon to see double bottoms on harmonics. I've added more to my long. People were really bearish here on this. I thought it was a blessing that we got this dip again. I thought I'd miss my chance. I added longs here, but not as much as I would have liked. And when we got this dump down here, I went full size, a little bit bigger than full size, because I had such confidence that this harmonic was going to play. So I've really walked you guys through this step by step. I know sometimes when it comes to like a perfect long or like an ideal place to long, it's not going to look pretty, and a lot of people are going to be very bearish, and you're not going to want to long because you're going to be afraid to. And that's what makes a really good long scenario, in my opinion, because in order for it to work out, you have to be in the minority of people. And so I really walked you guys step by step through this from the very beginning. We put this low in here. I said we're going to revisit the lows. We did. I called this bullish shark harmonic days in advance, said that we are going to get it. When this price came down here, we got the double bottom. I called that out and said I added my long. So far, step by step, I've walked you guys through this. We're up about 12% Well, my average entry is about 60,300, so I'm up about 10% on that long. I opened up a scalp long last night that I'm up about almost 3% up on now. So so far so good. Everything's been really, really. The conditions are all there, right, for this long, and I'll explain a little bit more about that as well. If we go ahead and take a look at funding rates, we can see that funding rates are largely negative. People are shorting this. We can take a look at AgriTrade. Let me just be sure that this appears on your chart. Yes, it does. You can see that spot is leading price here, and it has been for some time. I've been keeping an eye on this, and I've seen Bitfinex spot and Coinbase spot largely leading this move. I know right now it says Kraken perp is at the top here, but throughout the last several days, it's by and large been Bitfinex and Coinbase spot leading the price action. And that's generally what you want to see, is for price to be spot led, right? So between that spot led price, negative funding rates, virtually, neutral delta, nothing too crazy. I'm led to believe that we're going to go higher. All right, especially with this bullish shark harmonic being here. And then also if we look at this zone as a corrective wave, we can see that we have some degree of like an ABC flat, which would look something like A, B, C flat. So we can say that this corrective wave is probably complete, and we've done some sort of a reaccumulation phase before we can look for BTC to then have continuation to the upside. All right, so when I put all of these things together, I just don't see a bear case for BTC. Not only that, but we had a lot of war news come out. We had some FUD and things like that happen multiple times throughout this period. And nonetheless, BTC basically held 60K as support. Okay. The halving took place just this last weekend. Typically, price doesn't start going crazy on the event. Obviously, every cycle is a little bit different. But I do think that in the weeks ahead, we can expect for BTC to climb towards its previous all-time high that we put in March. And look for some new levels to the upside here. Okay, so I'm long. I have no intention of closing my position. I'm long BTC, ETH, and Sol are my largest positions. I'm long some Link, and then a handful of shitcoins as well, like Mu and Cow with Hat, and just like a handful of other small cap stuff for the hell of it. So we'll go ahead and update our chart here. I think that pretty much sums up. Like, I just cannot emphasize to you guys enough that, like, to me, there's no reason to short at all. I will not short. I'm not going to short to hedge. I'm not going to be doing any of that. If we get any more kind of a dip, I'm going to assume this low is going to hold, and I'm going to long. And that's pretty much my strategy is, moving forward, I'm just going to look to long positions up until new all-time highs, and then from there I'll start to reevaluate. So let's go ahead and update our charts. Like I mentioned, we'll get our previous week levels, etc., all that kind of stuff going. I want to do some cleaning up here first, see what all this stuff is. So this is my current long position. This is a really key level to reclaim. We can see that we reclaimed it. This is the value area low of the range here. As you can see, we've reclaimed that level and we're working towards the POC. From there, we will look to this upper zone here, the value area high, as the next area of resistance. So this played out really nicely. We got that additional dip here that I didn't expect, but I mean, you know, let's get rid of some of the stuff here. Yeah, the fib extension to 80K. Don't need that. Don't need that. This is the original position. Yeah, there's our. Wow. Yeah, these are the two trades that I shared a long time ago, and you can see it just played out perfectly. I'm so happy with this long, guys. Can't even begin to tell you. Yeah, I re-entered this previous triangle. Everything just looks great. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our previous week levels. Do we have a new weekly? Nothing really to keep an eye on there. All right, previous week low, weekly open, previous week high, which is what we're currently targeting. Let's go down to a 4-hour. Yeah, so this looks good. I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't think that's gonna be swept. The weekly open is right above the val zone. Previous week high. Obviously, a move above this, claiming this level of support, flipping it to support would be really crucial for the bulls, right? Let's just open up our previous month levels. Yeah, I don't think this is important anymore. I'm going to hide this one. The monthly open, I think, is going to be a key zone. I don't think. I know it's going to be a very key zone. I'm actually going to keep that represented by this red area here, because it represents the value area high as well as the monthly open. So I'm going to go ahead and hide that. Let's go. We see our Monday range starting to form. Obviously, it's not yet. Not yet formed. Monday low here right now, and the Monday high is here right now. So this is still developing. I don't want to get like too ahead of myself on this. It's still developing a Monday range. Let's take a look at our daily time frame here. No new dailies, nothing really to. Yeah. So price is just range bound, not really a whole lot new going on here. I'm going to get rid of this Monday range stuff. I think that we'll just have to sort of watch that develop. Actually, I'm going to put on Monday the low, though. I'm going to keep the low on there. So what could this look like here? So if we were to take an estimate of how long it could take for this harmonic to play out. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so if BTC does continue to range for a period of time, because I could see this harmonic not really playing out until mid-May. All right, so that gives us, I mean, 3 weeks, give or take. 3 weeks, maybe four. So let's say that this harmonic doesn't play out for another 3 weeks, um, which means that we could do a little bit more ranging here. A couple things I could see happen. This is the previous week high. This is the previous week high. So what I could see happening is, price maybe coming up to the 618 here, which is a first target for the harmonic. Maybe deviating the level, coming back down to this zone here, sweeping some lows, and then from here, continuing the ascent up to this zone. Either break through, I could see it either breaking through or putting in another small range here. Maybe even doing something like this. Before then, breaking up towards the upside. It just depends. I can kind of see like either one of these handful things happening. It may even just go straight for this zone here right off the bat. But because, this harmonic, yeah, this is Monday low, weekly open, I'll hide this. So 618 here, previous week high. So this is a couple different things that I could see happening is, like I said, I'm inevitably looking at all-time highs coming up here. I expect for that to happen, let's say, before or by the third week of May. Second to third week of May. So we got another 3 weeks-ish, give or take, for that to happen. Depending on how quickly BTC wants to move, I could see a deviation of previous week high, a move back down. If BTC is going to do this slowly and continue to range partially, I could see this deviation happening, a move back down, sweep Monday low or deviate Monday low, and then have continuation to the upside, to which we can look for price to break up back to this previous area of resistance here, which is the value area high, maybe put in some kind of a range like it has in the past, and then have continuation as we are in May, right? Maybe something like this could happen. Or price gets the move up above previous week high, holds it as support, and immediately goes for this level, right? Maybe it immediately goes for this level, and it does something like this. It's possible that we break to the upside, maybe put in some kind of a range or do some kind of a move here and have continuation right up to this zone, and maybe do like another sweep like this, and then have this move up to the upside. Something like this, right? The point that I'm trying to get at is that we're going to do some kind of I think we're going to do some kind of ranging or some kind of chop sort of a move in this area before getting, the move up. I don't think it's just going to go straight up to the upside. So whether it's something like this where we deviate, come down, then get the move up, or if we break up higher at first and then get maybe like a larger retracement to the downside before continuation, one of the two, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, but I do think that that's a scenario that we're going to see as one of these two things. So we can look for a move to the 618 here, deviate the previous week high, lose it, get a move back down. If we get a move back down here, I'll probably look to add to my longs again. If we just have simple continuation to the upside and we get to move up here, I'll look for this area to hold a support. If we break that back down, I'll look for a move down to this green zone where I'll again add to my long. If we just simply do get some kind of a massive move to the upside, great. We're already positioned. I can be happy and profit. That's totally cool. So again, I just can't emphasize this enough. I'm looking at price to go to an all-time high. I do not see a bearish case for anything. I've already explained my thoughts about that in this video for you guys earlier in the video. If you haven't seen it, you can feel free to rewatch. But the point that I'm trying to get at is that I'm only looking for longs. Even if we do get a retracement, I want a long the retracement. I don't care about catching the short. I do think that in this area, basically in this zone, through, let's say, the first, second week of May, I think price will spend some time in here and do whatever it's going to do. It's going to be choppy. It's going to be messy. It doesn't matter to me what it does, but price is going to do some choppy or something in this zone for the next couple weeks, and then eventually break out and create new all-time highs. I think we can target between 76 and 80K at the very least for that first initial move, and we can sort of evaluate as price does continue to develop over time. So I think that that's a good way for us to leave this live stream for the day. I want to go ahead and look at some of these comments here. Ivan said, "Don't you think it could drop within the next 48 hours?" Sure, absolutely. I drew out that scenario here. We could get a move up and it could drop to sweep Monday low, but I'm gonna long again. I guess to answer your question very clearly, I don't think that this low is gonna get taken out. I think that the low is in. This is not going to get taken out. I don't care if we dip within $10 of this. This low is not getting taken out. If we dip within $10 of this, I'll add more. Right? I don't think that that's going to happen. I would be surprised if we even got back down to range lows. It's possible. I would be surprised if we did. I think that this scenario, one of these handfuls of scenarios is better played out, and I do think that BTC is going to spend some time in this range here. Highest probabilities from an Elliott wave is going to new all-time highs. We're on the same page. I agree. We had 7 green months, red month could be on the horizon. Oh, let's take a look here. Well, it's the 22nd of April. We got about another week and a half of the month left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. Yeah, we could close this red. Sure. And if we did, who cares? I think it would be pretty sweet to see it close above 69K. If we got this monthly close above 69K and it was still red, yeah, no big deal. That's in my opinion, that's a great close. We back tested the level and we held it as support. Even closing where it's at now wouldn't be that bad either. So we'll kind of have to monitor it, but just because it had XYZ amount of green months in a row doesn't mean it has to have a red month. You could virtually say that this was a red month, right? It was so damn close. It's not like we've had so many consecutive of, just massive candles. How much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. If we didn't count this, take a little break. Yeah, I don't really like that school of thought where it's like, well, it did this for so long, so it has to. That's like playing roulette and saying, well, it landed on black, 5 times in a row, so it has to be red. I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that we have to think that way. Um, Obviously, we want to watch the monthly close. I think getting a monthly close above the previous all-time high would be pretty big. But even where it's at now, I don't think it's that bad. Could this month close red? Yes. Will it? It kind of looks like it will. But that's fine. I have no problem with that. And in fact, like I said, I am looking, at about 3 weeks out until we kind of get that new all-time high, as I've shown you in accordance with the bullish shark harmonic that I've been sharing. So I think that answers everybody's questions. I kind of went through and looked here. It doesn't seem like we had too many today. So we'll go ahead and call it there. Again, I've shared sort of my scenarios for the week here, and a couple things that I'm thinking as price sort of unfolds for the next few weeks. But really, again, I just expect price to hang out between 63 and 72K for the next 2, maybe 3 weeks before breaking out to the upside towards new all-time highs. Is it possible it just climbs from here? Sure. I don't think that will be the case. Not at least right now. I would have to see it start to take out some levels. So again, if you guys have any questions I didn't get to, feel free to ask in the Discord. We're in a position right now that I've been the most interested in with crypto for a while. I haven't been this interested in positioning myself in a long while. So this dip, in my opinion, was a blessing, and I think we're all going to look back on it and be happy that we bought. Great example, like on Solana right now. I shared this buy zone so long ago, and then I shared this exact setup explaining, that I'm long here. And, just from my buy zone even, it's already up 17%. That's insane. And from the lows, it's up 31%. So this has been a great buy. I mean, I'm so happy that a lot of you guys caught this. If you didn't get a chance to, I mean, I still think we're in a good position. So again, I'll continue to update you guys as we go on throughout the week. We're going to let Monday's range form and sort of let price action develop, and we'll do some updating from there as we continue forward. The last thing that I do want to take a look at actually is just the liquidation heat map on high block, just briefly. Yeah. Liquidity 73K, not surprising. Liquidity 77K, not surprising. So we're seeing a lot of that liquidity to the upside above the previous all-time high. Seeing some liquidity again below, but again, I really don't see a case for a bearish scenario on BTC. So I'm just going to continue to hold my longs and expect price to climb higher. Any kind of a dip or retracement we get, I'm going to be adding because I think that we're going to continue to climb. All right, so again, if I didn't get to your questions, feel free to ask in the Discord. As always, thanks for joining me, guys, and enjoy the rest of your trading week.